Star Signal gleaming o'er the hills and far away. We have heard his pipes a-crying as in Hamlin town of old, seeing the Vesper pilot flying down the sunset's red and gold. So we follow night and day, follow bravely while we may, where we hear the piper play. O'er the hills and far away. La 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 la. O'er the hills and far away. La 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 la. O'er the hills and far away.
So shaken as we are, so wan with care, find we a time for frighted peace to pant, and breathe short-winded accents of new broils, to commence in strands afar remote. No more the thirsty entrance of this soil shall daub her lips with her own children's blood. No more shall trenching war channel her fields, nor bruise her flowerets with the iron hooves of hostile paces. Those opposite eyes, which like the meteors of a troubled heaven, all of one nature, of one substance bred, did lately meet in the intestine shock and ferocious close of civil butchery, shall now, in mutual well-beseeming ranks, march all one way, and be no more opposed against acquaintance, kindred, and allies. The edge of war, like an ill-sheathed knife, no more shall cut its master. Therefore, friends, as far as to the sepulchre of Christ, whose soldier now, under whose blessed cross we are impressed and engaged to fight, forthwith a power of English shall we levy, whose arms were molded in their mother's womb, to chase these pagans in those holy fields, over whose acres walked those blessed feet, which 1400 years ago were nailed for our advantage on the bitter cross. But this purpose now is 12 months old, and bootless 'tis to tell you we will go. Therefore we meet not now. Then let me hear of you, my gentle cousin Westmoreland. What yesternight did our council decree in forwarding this dear expedience?
My liege, this haste was hot in question, and many limits of the siege set down but yesternight, when all athwart there came a post from Wales loaden with heavy news, whose worst was that the noble Mortimer, leading the men of Herefordshire to fight against the irregular and wild Glendower, was by the rude hands of that Welshman taken, 1,000 of his people butchered, upon whose dead corpse there was such misuse, such beastly, shameful transformation by those Welsh women done as may not be without much shame retold or spoken of.
It seems then the tidings of this broil break off our business for the Holy Land.
This, matched with others, did, my gracious lord, for more uneven and unwelcome news came from the north, and thus it did import. On Holyrood Day, the gallant Hotspur there, young Harry Percy, and brave Archibald, that ever valiant and approved Scot, at Holmdon met, where they did spend a sad and bloody hour, as by discharge of their artillery in shape of likelihood the news was told. For he that brought them in the very heat and pride of their contention did take horse, uncertain of the issue any way.
Ah, here is a dear, a true industrious friend. Sir Walter Blunt, who lighted from his horse and stained with the variation of each soil betwixt that Holmdon and this seat of ours. And he hath brought good news.
The Earl of
Douglas is discomfited. 10,000 bold Scots, 22 knights, balked in their own blood, has Sir Walter seen on Holmdon's plains. Of prisoners, Hotspur took Mordack, Earl of Fife, and eldest son to Beaton Douglas, the Earl of Athol, of Murray, of Angus, of Menteith. Is not this an honorable spoil? A gallant prize, ha, cousin, is it not?
In faith, it is a conquest for a prince to boast of.
Yes, thou makest me sad. Thou makest me sin with envy. And my lord Northumberland should be father to so blessed a son. A son who was the theme of honor's tongue, amongst a grove the very straightest plant, whose sweet minion's fortune and her pride. Thus I, by looking on the praise of him, see riot and dishonor stain the brow of my young Harry. It could be proved that some night-tripping fairy had exchanged in cradle clothes our children where they lay, and called mine Percy and his Plantagenet, then I would have his Harry and he mine. You let him for my thoughts. What think you, cuz, of this young Percy's pride? The prisoners which in this adventure he has taken, to his own use he keeps, and sends me word I shall have none but mourning. Good fife!
This is his uncle's teaching. This is Worcester malevolent to you in all aspects, which make him prune himself and prick up the crest of youth against your dignity.
We shall send for him to answer this. For this cause we must neglect our holy purpose to Jerusalem. Cousin, on Wednesday next, a council we will hold at Windsor, so inform the lords. But come yourself with speed to us again, for more is to be said and to be done than out of anger can be uttered.
I will, my liege.
What time of day is it, lad?
Thou art so fat-witted with drinking of old sack, and unbuttoning thee after supper, and sleeping upon benches after noon, that thou hast forgotten to demand what truly thou wouldst truly know. What a devil hast thou to do with the time of day, unless hours were cups of sack, or minutes capons, or clocks the tongues of bards, or dials the signs of leaping houses, or the blessed sun himself, a fair, hot wench in flame-colored taffeta. I cannot imagine why thou shouldst be so superfluous to demand the time of day.
Oh, indeed, now. You come near me now, Hal. For we that take purses go by the moon and the 7 stars, and not by Phoebus, he that wandering night so fair. And I marry, sweet wag, when thou art king, as God save thy grace. Majesty, I should say, for grace thou wilt have none.
What? None?
Why, not so much as will serve to prologue an egg and butter.
Well, how now, then? Come roundly. Roundly.
Marry, sweet wag, when thou art king, let us who are squires of the night's body be not called thieves of the day's beauty, but let us be Diana's foresters, gentlemen of the shade, minions of the moon, and let men say we be men of good government, being governed as the sea is, by that noble and chaste mistress, the moon, under whose countenance we steal.
Thou sayest well. And it holds well, too, for the fortunes of us that are the moon's men doth ebb and flow like the sea, being governed as the sea is by the moon. Now, In point, a purse of gold, most resolutely snatched on Monday night, and most dissolutely spent on Tuesday morning. That was swearing, lay by, and spent with crying, bring in. Now by and by, in as low an ebb as the foot of the ladder, and by and by again, in as high a flow as the ridge of the gallows.
Oh, by the mast, thou sayest true, lad. And is not my hostess of the tavern a most sweet wench?
As the honey of Hybla, my old lad of the castle. And is not a buff jerkin a most sweet robe of durance?
What? Mad wag, what? In thy quips and quiddities, what a plague have I to do with a buff jerkin?
Why, what a potch have I to do with my hostess of the tavern?
Well, thou hast called her to a reckoning many a time and all.
Did I ever call for thee to pay thy part?
No, thou hast paid all there.
Aye, wherever my coin would stretch, and where it is not, I've used my credit.
And so used it that they will now hear apparent that thou art heir apparent. Oh, marry my sweet wag. And thou art king. Will there be gallows standing in England? Resolution thus fubbed as it is with that old rusty curb, Father Antic the law. Do not, when thou art king, hang the thief.
No, thou shalt.
Shall I? Oh, there. I shall be a brave judge.
Thou judgest false already, for thou shalt have the hanging of thieves, and so become a rare hangman.
An old lord of the castle rated me in the street about you the other day, but I marked him not. Yet he spoke wisely, too, but I regarded him not. Yet he spoke wisely, and in the street, too.
Thou didst well, for wisdom cries out in the streets, and no man regards it.
Oh, thou hast the most damnable iteration, and art able to corrupt a saint. Why, before I knew thee, Hal, I knew nothing. And now I am little better than one of the wicked. I must give over this life, and give it over I will. If I do not, I'm a villain. I'll be damned for never a king's son in Christendom.
Where shall we take a purse tomorrow, Jack?
Oh, zounds, wherever thou wilt, and I'll make one. And if I do not, why, call me villain and baffle me.
Why, then, I see a very good amendment of life in me. From praying to purse-taking.
But 'tis my vocation, Hal. 'Tis no sin for a man to labor in one's vocation. Ah, Poins, now we shall see if Gatso has set a match. If man were to be saved by merit, what hole in hell would be hot enough for him? He's the most omnipotent villain that ever cried stand to a true man.
What says Monsieur Remorse? What says Sir John Sack and Sugar? Jack, how agrees the devil in thee about thy soul, which thou soldest him on Good Friday last for a cup of Madeira and a cold capon's leg?
The devil will have his bargain, for Sir Jack was never yet a breaker of his word. He will give the devil his due.
Well, then art thou damned for keeping thy word with the devil.
Else he had been damned for cozening the devil.
Oh, but my lads, by 4 o'clock tomorrow morning early at Gad's Hill, there are pilgrims going to Canterbury with rich offerings, and traders riding to London with fat purses. I have visors for you all. You have horses for yourselves. Gad shall lie tonight in Rochester. I bespoke supper tomorrow night in Eastcheap. We may do it as secure as sleep. You will go. I will stuff your purses full of crowns. If you will not, tarry at home and be hanged.
Oh, hear ye, Edward. If I tarry at home and go not, I'll hang you for going.
Oh, you will, Chops.
How? Wilt thou make one?
Who, I? Rob? I a thief? Oh, no, not I, in faith.
There's neither manhood, honesty, nor good fellowship in thee. And thou camest not from blood royal if thou darest not stand for 10 shillings.
Well, then, once in my life I'll be a madcap.
Oh, that's well said, lad.
Come what will, I'll tarry at home.
Oh, by the Lord, I shall be a traitor when thou art king.
I care not.
Sir John, I prithee, leave the prince and me alone a while. I will lay him down such reasons for this adventure that he shall go.
Oh, well, God grant thee the spirit of persuasion, and him the ears of profiting, for what thou speakest may move, and what he hears may be believed, that the true prince for recreation's sake may prove a false thief. For the poor abuses of the day want countenance. Farewell.
Farewell, thou latter spring. Farewell, all hallowed summer.
Now, my good, sweet, honey lord, ride with us tomorrow. For I have a jest to execute that I cannot manage alone. Falstaff, Bardolph, Peto, and Gadfill shall rob those men that we have already waylaid. Yourself and I will not be there. Then, when they have the booty, if you and I do not rob them, we'll cut this head off my shoulders.
Well, how shall we part from them and setting forth?
Why, we will set forth before or after them and appoint them a place of meeting, wherein it is our pleasure to fail. Then they will adventure upon the exploit themselves, which they shall have no sooner achieved, but we'll set upon them.
Yea, but 'tis like they will know us by our horses, by our habits, and by every other appointment to be ourselves.
Tot, our horses they shall not see. I'll tie them in the wood. Our visors we will change after we leave them. Try of cases of buckram for the nonce to mask our noted outward garments.
Yea, but I doubt they will be too hard for us.
For two of them, I know them to be as true-bred cowards as ever turned back. And for the third, if he fights longer than he sees reason, I'll forswear arms. All the virtue of this jest will be the incomprehensible lies the same fat rogue will tell us when we meet at supper. How 30 at least he fought with. What wards, what blows, what extremities he endured. And in the reproof of this lies the jest.
Well, I'll go with thee. Provide all things may be tomorrow night in Eastcheap. There I'll sup. Till then, good morrow then.
Farewell, my lord.
I know you all, and will a while uphold the unyoked humor of your idleness. Yet herein will I imitate the sun, who doth permit the base contagious clouds to smother up his beauty from the world, that, being wanted, when he should appear again, be more wondered at, by breaking through the foul and ugly mist of vapors that did seem to strangle him. If all the days were playing holidays, to sport would be as tedious as to work. But when they seldom come, they wished for come, and nothing pleaseth but rare accident. So, when this loose behavior I throw off, and pay the debt I never promised, by how much better than my word I am, by so much shall I falsify men's hopes, that like bright metal gleaming on the sullen ground, my reformation, glittering o'er my fault, shall show more goodly and attract more eyes than that which hath no foil to set it off. I'll so offend to make offense a skill, redeeming time when men least think I will.
My blood hath been too cold and temperate, unapt to stir at these indignities. And for accordingly you have found me. But be sure, from henceforth I shall rather be myself, mighty and to be feared, than my condition, which hath been smooth as oil, soft as down, and lost that title of respect that the proud soul never pays but to the proud.
Our house, my sovereign liege, little deserves the scourge of greatness to be used on it, and that same greatness, too, which our own hands of hope make so portly.
My lord.
Worcester, get thee gone. I do see danger and disobedience in thine eye. Oh, sir, your presence is too bold and peremptory, and majesty may never yet endure the moody frontier of a servant brow. You have good leave to leave us. When we need your use and counsel, we shall send for you. You were about to speak.
Yea, my good lord. Those prisoners in your highness's name demanded, which Harry Percy here at Holmdon took, were, as he said, not with such strength denied as is delivered to your majesty. Either envy, therefore, or misprison is guilty of this fault, and not my son.
My liege, I did deny no prisoners. But I remember when the fight was done, when I was dry with rage and extreme toil, breathless and faint, leaning upon my sword, came there a certain lord, neat and trimly dressed, fresh as a bridegroom, and his chin new reaped showed like a stubble-landed harvest home. He was perfuming like a milliner, and twixt his finger and his thumb he held a pouncet box, which ever and anon he gave his nose and took it away again, who therewith angry when he next came there, took it in snuff, and still he smiled and talked. And as the soldiers bore dead bodies by, he called them untaught knaves, unmannerly, to bring a slovenly, unhandsome corpse betwixt the wind and his nobility. In many holiday and lady terms he questioned me, among the rest demanded my prisoners in your majesty's behalf. I then, all smarting, with my wounds being cold, to be so pestered with a popinjay, out of my grief and my impatience answered neglectingly, I know not what he should or he should not, for he made me mad. To see him shine so brisk, and smell so sweet, and talk so like a waiting gentlewoman of guns and drums and wounds, God save the mark, and telling me the sovereignest thing on earth was Parmacity for an inward bruise, and that it was great pity, so it was, this villainous saltpetre should be digged out of the bowels of the harmless earth, which many a good tall fellow had destroyed so cowardly, and but for these vile guns he would himself have been a soldier. This bald, unjointed chat of his, my lord, I answered indirectly as I said, and I beseech you, let not his report come current for an accusation betwixt my love and your high majesty.
The circumstance considered, good my lord, whate'er Lord Harry Percy then had said to such a person in such a place at such a time, and all the rest retold, may reasonably die and never rise to do him wrong, or any way impeach what then he said. So he unsay it now.
Why yet doth he deny his prisoners? But with proviso and exception that we at our own charge shall ransom straight his brother-in-law, the foolish Mortimer, who on my soul hath willfully betrayed the lives of those he did lead to fight against that great magician, damned Glendower, whose daughter, as we hear, the Earl of March hath lately married. Shall our coffers then be emptied to redeem a traitor home? Shall we buy with treason and indent, with fears, when they have lost and forfeited themselves? No, on the barren mountains let him starve. For I shall never hold that man my friend who shall ask me for one penny cost to ransom home revolted Mortimer.
Revolted Mortimer? He never did fall off, my sovereign liege, but by the chance of war, to prove that true needs no more but one tongue for all those wounds, those mouthed wounds, which valiantly he took when, on the gentle Severn sedgy bank, he did confound the best part of an hour in changing hardiment with great Glendower. 3 times they breathed, and 3 times did they drink, upon agreement of swift Severn's flood, who then, affrighted by their bloody looks, ran fearfully through the trembling reeds, and hid his crisp head in the hollow bank, blood-stained by these valiant combatants. Never did base and rotten policy color her working with such deadly wounds, nor could the noble Mortimer receive so many, and all willingly. Then let him not be slandered with revolt.
Thou dost belie him. Percy, thou dost belie him. He never did encounter with Glendower. I tell thee, he just as well have met the devil alone as Owen Glendower for an enemy. Art thou not ashamed? Sir, let me never hear you mention the name Mortimer. Send me your prisoners with the speediest haste, or you will hear in such a kind from me as will displease you. My lord Northumberland, we license your departure with your son. Send us your prisoners, or you will hear of it.
And if the devil come and roar for them, I will not send them. I'll have to straight and tell him so. I'll ease my heart. I'll make a hazard of my head.
Why, drunk with choler, Stay and pause a while. Here comes your uncle.
Speak of the Lord. As soon as I will speak of it, let my soul want mercy if I do not join with it. Yea, on his part, I'll empty all these veins and shed my dear blood drop by drop in the dust, for I will lift the downtrodden Mortimer as high in the air as this unthankful king, as this ingrate Kiker Bolingbroke.
Brother, the king hath made your nephew mad.
Who struck this heat up after I was gone?
Will, forsooth, have all my prisoners. And when I urged the ransom once again of my wife's brother, then his cheek looked pale, and on my face he turned an eye of death, trembling, even at the name of Mortimer.
I cannot blame him. Was not he proclaimed? By Richard the Dead is next of blood.
He did, and I myself did hear it.
For whose death we in the world's wide mouth live scandalized and foully spoken of.
But, sir, I pray you, did King Richard then proclaim my brother, Edmund Mortimer, heir to the throne?
Aye, yes, he was. I heard the proclamation, and then it was when the unhappy king set forth upon his Irish expedition when he returned, he was deposed and shortly murdered. I did hear that he was sent that way.
Then I cannot blame his cousin king that wished him on the barren mountain to starve. But shall it be that you that set the crown upon the head of this forgetful man, and for his sake wear the detested blood of murderous subordination? Shall it be that you a world of curses undergo, being the agents or base second means, the cords, the ladder, or the hangman rather? Oh, pardon me that I descend so low to the line in the predicament wherein you reign under this subtle king. Shall it for shame be spoken in these days, or shall it chronicles in time to come that men of your nobility and power did gauge them both in an unjust behalf, to put down Richard, that sweet lovely rose, and plant this thorn, this canker Bolingbroke? And yet time serves when you may redeem your banished honors and restore yourself into the good name of the world again. Revenge the jeering and disdain contempt of this proud king who studies day and night to answer all the debt he owes you, even with the bloody payment of your death. Therefore, I say...
Peace, cousin. Say no more. And now, I will unclasp a secret book, and to your quick conceiving discontents, I'll read you matter deep and dangerous, as full of peril and adventurous spirit as to o'erwalk a current roaring loud on the unsteadfast footing of a spear.
If he fall in, good night, or sink or swim, send danger from the east into the west, so honor cross it from north to south, and let them grapple, all the blood more stirs to rouse a lion than to start a hare.
Imagination drives him beyond the bounds of patience.
By heaven, methinks it were an easy leap. Pluck bright honor from the pale-faced moon, or dive into the bottom of the deep, where fathom line could never touch the ground. Pluck up drowned honor by the locks, so he that doth redeem her thence might wear without co-rival all her dignities, out upon this half-faced fellowship.
He apprehends a world of figures here, but not the form of what he should attend. Good cousin, give me audience for a while.
I cry you mercy.
Those same noble Scots that are your prisoners...
I'll keep them all! By God, he shall not have a Scot of them, nay, if a Scot would save his soul, he shall not! I'll keep them by this head!
You start away and pay no heed unto my purposes. Those prisoners you shall keep.
Nay, I will! That's flat! He said he would not ransom Mortimer, forbade my tongue to speak of Mortimer, but I will find him when he is asleep and in his evening. I'll holler, Mortimer! Hey! I'll have a starling, shall be taught to speak nothing but and give it him to keep his anger still in motion.
Hear you, cousin, a word.
All studies here, I solemnly defy St. Gow, Peaches, Bolingbroke, and that same sword and buckler, Prince of Wales. But that I think his father loves him not, and would be glad he met with some mischance, I would have him poisoned with a pot of ale.
Farewell, kinsman. I'll talk to you when you are better tempered to attend.
Why? What a wasp-stung and impatient fool thou art, breaking into this woman's mood. Thine thine ear to no tongue but thine own.
Why, look you, I am whipped and scourged with rods, nettled and stung with pismires when I hear of this vile politician, Bolingbroke. In Richard's time, what do you call the place? A plague upon it. It is in Gloucestershire. 'Twas where the madcap Duke his uncle kept, his uncle York, where I first bowed my knee unto this king of smiles, blood. When you and he first came back from Ravensburg.
At Berkeley Castle.
You say true. Why, what a candy deal of courtesy this fawning greyhound then did proffer me. Look, when his infant fortune came to age, and gentle Harry Percy, and kind cousin, oh, the devil take such cousiners, God forgive me. Good uncle, tell your tale. I have done.
Nay, if you have not, to it again. We will stay your leisure.
I have done, infant.
Then once more to those Scottish prisoners.
Deliver them up without their ransom straight, and make the Douglas's son your only mean for powers in Scotland, which, for diverse reasons, which I will send you written, rest assured will easily be granted. You, my lord, your son in Scotland being thus employed, shall into the bosom creep of that same noble prelate, well beloved, the Archbishop.
Of York, is it not?
True, who bears hard his brother's death in Bristol, the Lord's screw. I seek not this in estimation of what I think might be, but what I know is ruminated, plotted, and set down, and stays only but to behold the face of that occasion that shall bring it on.
I smell it. Upon my life it will do well.
Before the game is afoot, thou still let slip.
But it cannot choose but be a noble plot. And then the powers of Scotland and of York to join with Mortimer, huh?
And so they shall.
In faith, it is exceedingly well aimed.
And 'tis no little reason to save our heads by raising of a head. For bear ourselves as even as we can, the king will always think himself in our debt, and we think ourselves unsatisfied, till he hath found the time to pay us home. And now he doth begin to make us strangers to his looks of love.
He does. We'll be revenged on him.
Farewell, cousin. No further go in this than I by letter shall direct your course. When time is ripe, which will be suddenly, I'll steal to Glendower and Lord Mortimer, where you and Douglas and all our powers at once, as I will fashion it, will happily meet, to bear our fortunes in our own strong arms, which now we hold at much uncertainty.
Farewell, good brother. We shall thrive, I trust.
Uncle Adieu. Oh, let the hours be short till fields and blows and groans applaud our sport.
Hi-yo! And it be 4 by the day I'll be hanged. Charles Wayne's over the new chimney, and yet our horse not packed. What, ostler? I prithee, come. Beat cut saddle, put a few blocks in the point. 1 day's all wrong in the withers out of all sex.
Peas and beans are as danky as a dog. That's the next way to get poor Jade the box. This house is turned upside down since Robin Ostler died.
Poor fellow. He never joined since the price of oats rose. It was the death of him.
I think this be the most villainous house in all of London Road for fleas. Yeah, I'm stoned like a tent.
Like a tent by the mass? There'd be King Christian better bit than I've been since the first cock.
Why? They'll allow us near to Jordan, then we leak in your chimney and your chamber light bleeds fleas like a loach.
What, ostler? Too late, be hanged.
I got a gammon of bacon and 2 raisins, a ginger to go as far as Charing Cross.
Yeah, and the turkeys in my pan there are white starved.
Good morrow, carriers. What's o'clock?
I think it be 2 o'clock.
I pray thee, lend me thy lantern.
Hey, soft, by God. I know a trick worth 2 of that, is faith.
I pray thee, lend me thine.
Say when? Canst thou? Lend me thy lantern, quoth he. Marry, I'll see thee young first.
Sirrah carrier, what time do you mean to come to London?
Time enough to go to bed with a candle, I'll warrant thee. Come, Master Monk. We'll call on the gentlemen. They'll along with company, for they have great charge.
What ho, Chamberlain?
Tomorrow, Master gets you.
It holds current. I told you yesternight. There's a Franklin in the Wild of Kent have brought 300 marks with him in gold. I heard him tell it to one of his company last night at supper. A kind of auditor. One that hath abundance of charge, too. God knows what. They're up already and call for eggs and butter. They will away presently.
Oh, if they make not with St. Nicholas clerks, I'll give thee this neck.
Nay, I'll have none of it. I'll pray thee keep that for the hangman.
Talkest thou to me of the hangman? If I hang, I'll make a fat pair of gallows. For if I hang, old Sir John hangs with me. And thou knowest he's no starveling. Tut! I am joined with no footland rakers, no long-staffed sixpenny strikers, none of these mad, mustachioed, purple-hued maltworms, but with nobility and great onions, such as would strike sooner than speak, and speak sooner than drink, and drink sooner than pray. Yet zoons I lie, for they pray continually to their God, the Commonwealth, but not pray to her, pray on her, for they ride up and down on her and make her their boots.
With the Commonwealth their boots? Will she hold out water in a foul way?
Oh, she will, she will. Justice hath liquored her. We steal as in a castle. Cockshore! We are in the receipt of Fernseed, and we walk invisible.
Nay, by my faith, I think thou art more beholden to the night than to Fernseed for your walking invisible.
Give me thy hand. Thou shalt have a share in our purchase, as I am a true man.
Nay, rather let me have it, as you are a false thief.
No! Go to! Bid the ostler bring my gelding from the stable. Farewell, you muddy knave.
Come, shelter, shelter! I've removed false ass horse and he frets like a gummed velvet.
Stand close.
Point! Point! And be hanged, points!
Peace, you fat kidneyed rascal! What a brawling dost thou keep?
Where's Points, Hal?
He's gone up to the top of the hill. I'll go seek him.
Oh! I am accursed to rob in that thief's company. The rogue hath removed my horse and tied him I know not where. If I travel but 4 foot by the square feather a foot, I shall break my wind. There's no doubt I shall die a fair death for all of this if I escape hanging for killing that rogue. I have forsworn him hourly, any time these past 22 years, and yet I am still bewitched with the rogue's company. If he hath not given me medicine to make me love him, I'd be hanged. Cannot be other. 'Tis no doubt. I have drunk medicine. Points! Hal, a plague upon you both! Barnall, Peter, I'll starve ere I rob a foot farther. Oh, and 'twere not a good a deed as drink to turn true man and to leave these rogues. I am the veriest varlet that ever chewed with a tooth. 8 yards over uneven ground is like 70 miles to me afoot, and the stony-hearted villains know it well enough. Oh, plague upon it, when thieves cannot be true to one another. Oh, a pox on you all! Give me my horse! And be hanged, give me my horse!
Peace, you fat guts! Lie low to the ground and list if thou can hear the tread of travelers.
Have you any levers with you to lift me up again being down? Oh, how? I'll not move this flesh so far afoot again for all the coin in thy father's exchequer. What a plague mean you to colt me thus?
Thou liest. Thou art not colted, thou art uncolted.
Oh, good king's son, take me to my horse. Take me to my horse, good prince.
Outy rogue! Shall I be your ostler?
Oh, hang thyself in thine own heir-apparent garters. If I be taken, I'll peace for this. If I had not had ballads sung on all of you, the filthy tunes, let a cup of sack be my poison. Oh, when a jest is so far forward, and a foot too. Oh, I hate it. Ah! So I do against my will.
Oh, 'tis our setter, I know his voice. Bardolph, what news?
Oh, Casey, on with your visitors. There's money of the king's coming down the hill. 'Tis going to the king's exchequer.
Oh, you lie, you rogue. 'Tis going to the king's tavern.
There's enough to make us all.
To be hanged.
You four shall front them in the narrow lane. Ned Point and I will walk lower. If they escape from your encounter, they light on us.
How many be there of them?
Some 8 or 10.
Zoons, will they not rob us?
What? A coward, Sir John Paul.
Oh, I am no John of Gaunt, your grandfather, but no coward, Hal.
Well, we leave that to the proof.
Sirrah Jack, thy horse stands behind the hedge. When thou needest him, there thou shalt find him. Farewell, and stand fast!
Cannot I strike him if I should be hanged? Ah, happy man be his dole, say I. Every man to his business.
Come, neighbor. The boys shall walk the horses down the hill. We'll walk afoot a while. Ease our legs.
I wish you were undone, yes. You are undone. Sure you in faith.
Stand close, I hear them coming.
Come, my masters. Let us share and to horse before day. If Point and the Prince be not two errant cowards, then there is no equity stirring. There is no more valor in that Point than in a wild duck. Your money!
Got with much ease. Now, merrily to horse. But these are all scattered about and possessed with fear so strongly they dare not meet each other. Each takes the other for an officer. So away, good Ned. Falstaff sweats to death and lords the lean earth as he walks along. Were it not for laughing, I should pity him.
How the rogues roared!
But for mine own part, my lord, I could be well contented to be there out of respect for the love I bear your house. He could be contented. Why is he not, then? Out of respect for the love he bears our house. He shows in this, he loves his own barn better than he loves our house. Let me read some more. The purpose you undertake is dangerous. Why, that's certain. 'Tis dangerous to take it cold, to drink, to sleep. But I tell you, my lord fool, out of this nettled danger we pluck this flower. Safety. The purpose you undertake is dangerous. The friends you have named uncertain. The time itself unsorted, and the whole plot too light for the counterpoise of so great an opposition. Say you so? Say you so? I say unto you again, you are a shallow, cowardly hind, and you lie. What a lack brain is this? Why, our plot is a good plot, as ever was laid. Our friends true and constant. It's a good plot. Good friends, and full of expectation. It's an excellent plot. Very good friends. What a frosty-spirited rogue is this? Why, my lord of York commends the plot and the general course of action. Zoons, if I were now by this rascal, I could brain him with this lady's fan. Is it not my father, my uncle, and myself? Lord Edmund Mortimer, the Lord of York, and Owen Glendower? Is there not besides the Douglas? Have I not all their letters in hand to meet me in arms by the 9th of this month? And are not some of them sent forward already? What a pagan rascal is this, an infidel. You shall see now, in very sincerity of fear and cold heart, will he to the king, and lay open all our proceedings. Oh, I could divide myself and go to Buffett's for moving such a dish of skim milk with so honorable an action. Hang him. Let him tell the king, we are prepared. I will sit for it tonight. How now, Kate? I must leave you these 2 hours.
For what offense am I this fortnight a banished woman from my Harry's bed? Tell me, sweet lord, what is that takes from thee thy stomach pleasure and thy golden sleep? Why dost thou bend thine eyes upon the earth, and start so often when thou sitst alone? Why hast thou lost the fresh blood in thy cheeks, and given my treasures and my rights of thee to thick-eyed musing and cursed melancholy? In thy faint slumbers I by thee have watched, and heard thee murmur tales of iron wars. Speak terms of manage to thy bounding steed, cry courage to the field. And thou hast talked of sallies and retires, of trenches, tents,
of palisados, frontiers, parapets, of basilisks, of cannon, culverin, of prisoners ransomed, and of soldiers slain, and all the currents of a heady fight. Thy spirit within thee hath been so at war, and thus hast so bestirred thee in thy sleep, that beads of sweat have stood upon thy brow like bubbles in a lake disturbed stream. And in thy face strange motions have appeared, such as we see when men restrain their breath on some great sudden hex. What portents are these? Some heavy business hath my lord in hand, and I must know it. But he loves me not.
What ho! Stealing through the pack gun?
He is, my lord, now or
Hath Butler brought these horses from the sheriff?
One horse, my lord, he brought even now.
What horse? A roan? A crop here, is it not?
It is, my lord.
Roan shall be my throne. Well, I will back him straight. Oh, Esperance! Bid Butler lead him forth to the park.
But hear you, my lord.
What sayest thou, my lady?
What is it carries you away?
What, my horse? My love, my horse.
Out! You mad-headed ape! A weasel hath not such a deal of spleen as you are tossed with. In faith, I'll know your business, Harry, that I will. I fear my brother Mortimer doth stir about his title and has sent for you to line his enterprise. But if you go...
So far afoot, I shall be weary, love.
Come. Come, you parakeeto. Answer me directly unto this question that I ask. In faith, I'll break thy little finger, Harry, if thou wilt not tell me all things true.
Away. Away, you trifler! Love? I love thee not. I care not for thee, Kate. This is no world to play with mammoths or to tilt with lips. We must have bloody noses and cracked crowns and pass him current too. Godspeed, my horse! What sayest thou, Kate? What's thou have with me?
Do you not love me? Do you not indeed? Well, do not then. For since you love me not, I will not love myself. Do you not love me? Nay, tell me if you speak in jest or no.
Come, wilt thou see me ride? And when I am a horseback, I will swear I love thee infinitely. Hark you, Kate, I must not have you henceforth question me whither I go, nor reason whereabout. Whither I must, and to conclude, this evening shall I leave you, gentle Kate. I know you wise, yet no farther wise than Harry Percy's wife. Constant you are, but yet a woman, and for secrecy no lady closer. For I well believe thou wilt not utter what thou dost not know. And so far will I trust thee, Kate.
How? So far?
Not an inch further. Hark you, Kate. Whither I go, thither shall you go too. Today shall I set forth, tomorrow you. Will this content you, Kate?
It must of force.
What? Standest thou still and hear such a calling? So go speak to the guest within. Go, go. My lord, old Sir John and half a dozen more are at the door. Shall I let them in?
Let them alone a while, and then open the door.
Boys!
Anon, sir.
Sirrah, Falstaff and the rest of the thieves are at the door. Shall we be merry?
As merry as crickets, my lad, but harkye, what cunning match have you made of this jest with the drawer? Come, what's the issue?
I am now of all humours that have showed themselves humorous since the former days of good Madam to this present pupil age of 12 o'clock at midnight. Francis, what o'clock?
Anon.
That ever this fellow should have fewer words than a parrot, and yet the son of a woman. His industry is upstairs and downstairs, his eloquence the parcel of a reckoning. I'm not yet of Percy's mind, that hot spur of the north that kills me some 6 or 7 dozen Scots before breakfast, comes home to his wife, washes his hands, and says, "Fie upon this quiet life! I want work!"
Oh, my sweet Harry! How many hast thou killed today?
"Give my roan horse a drench!" "Oh, a trifle, some 6 or 7 dozen."
Go call Falstaff. I'll play Percy, and that damn Ron shall play Dame Mortimer his wife. "Bravo," says the drunkard. "Call in ribs, call in tallow."
A plague on all cowards, I say.
Welcome, Jack. Where hast thou been?
A plague on all cowards, and a vengeance too, marry and amen. Give me a cup of sack. Oh, ere I lead this life long, I'll sew nether socks, foot them, and mend them too. Give me a cup of sack, you rogue. Is there no virtue extant?
Didst thou never see a Titan kiss a dish of butter?
Lime in this sack. Oh, is there nothing but roguery to be found in villainous man? Oh, if manhood, good manhood, be not forgot upon the face of this earth, then I am a shot and herring. There is not 3 good unhanged men in England, and one of them is fat and grows old. Oh, God help the wild, a bad world. A plague on all cowards, I say still.
Come, Woolsack, what mutter you?
Ah, King's son. If I do not beat thee out of thy kingdom with a dagger of lath, and drive all thy subjects before thee like a flock of wild geese, I'll never wear air on my face more. You, Prince of Wales.
Well, how now then? What's the matter?
Are you not a coward? Answer me that. And points there.
Zoons, you fat paunch, and ye call me a coward. By the Lord, I'll stab thee.
Call thee coward? I'll see thee damned ere I call thee coward. But I would give 1,000 pounds I could run as fast as thou canst. Oh, thou art straight enough in the shoulders that you care not who sees your back. You call that a backing of friends? A plague upon such backing. Give me them that will face me. Give me a cup of sack, boy. I have drunk today. I'm a rogue.
Oh, villain. Thy lips are scarce white since thou drunkest last.
All is one for that. Give me a cup of sack. A plague on all cowards, I say still.
What's the matter?
What's the matter? There are 4 of us this day morning have taken 1,000 pounds.
Where is it, Jack?
Oh,
where is it?
Where is it? Taken from us it is. 100 upon poor 4 of us.
What? 100, man?
If I were not at half sword with a dozen of them, I am a rogue. For 2 hours together, all would not do. Oh, it was awful. Hal, if I tell thee a lie, spit in my face and call me horse. Now, thou knowest how I lay, my old ward. My point bore thus, and 4 rogues in buckram let drive at me.
4? There were but 2 even now.
No, how? I told thee 4.
Aye, he said 4.
Now, these 4 in buckram came at me all in front, but I made me no more ado and took all 7 of their points in my target's eye.
7? There were but 4 even now.
In buckram?
Aye, 4 in buckram suits.
Oh, 7 by these hilts, or I'm a villain.
Oh, leave him alone. We shall have more anon.
Dost thou hear, Hal?
Aye, and mark thee too, Jack.
Do so, for it's worth the listening to. Now, these 9 in buckram that I told thee of.
Oh, so 2 more already?
Their points being broken.
Down fell their hose.
They began to give me ground, but I followed me close, hand and foot, and then with a thought, 7 of the 11 I paid.
Oh, monstrous! 11 buckram men grown out of 2.
And as the devil would have it, 3 misbegotten knaves in Kendall Green came at my back and let drive at me. Oh, Hal, I tell thee, it was so dark that thou could not see thy hand.
Oh, villain. These lies are like the father that begets them. Gross as a mountain, open and palpable. Why, the horse and obscene greased tallow catch.
What? Art thou mad? Art thou mad? Is not the truth the truth?
Well, tell me then, how couldst thou know these men in Kendall Green, when 'twas so dark thou couldst not see thine own hand? Come, tell us your reason, Jack.
Your reason, Jack? Your reason?
Upon compulsion? Why, zoons, if I were to Strapato and all the rocks in the world, I would give no one reason upon compulsion. Reason upon compulsion. Life reason's worth plentiful as blackberries. I would give no man reason upon compulsion,
I'll no longer be guilty of this sin, this sanguine coward, this bed presser, this huge hill of flesh.
Oh, you newt's tongue, you bull's pizzle, you stockfish. Oh, to have the breath to utter what is like thee, you vile boat case, you tailor's yard, you vile standing tuck.
Well, breathe a while, and then to it again. And when thou hast tired in thy base comparisons, hear me speak but this.
Mark, Jack.
That we two saw you four set on 4 and were masters of their wealth. Mark now how a plain tale shall set you down. That we two did then set on you 4 and with a word outfaced you from your prize. And have it here, yea, I can show it to you even now. And Jack, thou carried thy guts away as nimbly and with as much dexterity and roared, and still roared as ever I've heard bull calf. And what a knave art thou, to hack thy sword so and say it was in fight? Oh, what trick, what device, what starting hole canst thou not find to hide thee from this open and apparent shame?
Come, Jack, what trick hast thou now?
I know thee as well as he that made you. Why, come, my masters, was it for me to kill the heir apparent? Should I turn upon the true prince? Thou knows I'm as valiant as Hercules. But beware instinct. The lion will not touch the true prince, for instinct is a great matter. I was now a coward upon instinct, and I will think the better of myself and thee during my life. I for the valiant lion, and thou for the true prince. Boys, I'm glad you have the money. Hostess, clap to the doors. Watch tonight, pray tomorrow. Boys, lads, gallants, gentlemen, all the titles of good fellowship to thee. Oh, shall we be merry? Shall we have a play extempore?
Content, and thy argument shall be thy running away.
No, more of that, Hal, and thou lovest me.
Oh, Jesu, my lord, the prince.
Now, mistress, quickly, what wouldst thou with me?
Marry, my lord, there is a gentleman of the court at door would speak with you. He says he comes from your father.
Give him as much as will make him a royal man, and send him back again to my mother.
What manner of man is he?
An old man.
What doth gravity do out of his bed at midnight? Shall I give him his answer?
Prithee do, Jack.
I'll send him packing.
Now, sirs, Fire Lady, you fought fair, so did you, Pedo, so did you, Bardolph. You are lions, you ran away upon instinct. You will not touch the true prince, no, fie.
Faith, I ran when I saw others run.
Faith, tell me though, how came Falstaff's sword so hacked?
Well, he hacked it with his dagger and said he would swear truth out of England, but he would make you believe it was done in fight, and persuaded us to do the like.
Yea, and to tickle our noses with spear grass to make them bleed, and then be slubbered our garments with it, and swear it was the blood of true man. Oh, I did this, I did not that 7 years before. I blush to hear his monstrous devices.
Oh, villain, thou stolest a cup of sack 18 years hence, and were taken with the matter, and ever since thou hast blushed extempore. But come, thou hadst fire and sword on thy side, and yet still thou rannest away. What instinct hadst thou for it?
My lord, do you see these meteors? Do you behold their exhalations?
I do.
What think you they portend?
Hot livers and cold purses.
Collar, my lord, if rightly taken.
No, if rightly taken, halter. How now, lean Jack? How now, bare bones, thy sweet creature of bombast? How long has it been, Jack, since thou last sawest thine own knee?
My own knee? Why, Hal, when I was thy age, I was not an eagle's talon in the waist. I could crawl into any alderman's thumb ring. But a plague of sighing and grief blows a man up like a bladder. There's villainous news abroad. This man from your father, Sir John Bracy, you must to the court in the morning. That mad dog of the north, Percy, and he of Wales, he gave Ammon the bastinado and made Lucifer cuckold and swore true liegeman to the devil upon the cross of a Welsh hook. What a play you call him.
Oh, Glendower.
Owen the same, and his brother-in-law Mortimer, and old Northumberland, and that sprightly Scot of Scots, Douglas. He who runs a horseback up a hill perpendicular.
Aye, he who rides on horseback and with a pistol kills a sparrow flying.
You have hit it.
So did he, never the sparrow.
That rogue has good mettle in him. He will not run.
Oh, and what a coward art thou then, to praise him so for running.
A horseback, you cuckoo, but afoot he will not budge a foot.
Oh, yes, Jack, upon instinct.
Yes. I'll grant thee, upon instinct. Well, he's there too, and old Mordrake and 1,000 blue caps more. Worcester stolen away in the night your father's beard grows white with the news. But now you can buy land as cheap as stinking mackerel.
Well, then if this civil buffeting holds and there comes a hot June, we shall buy maidenheads as they do hobnails. By the hundreds.
By the mass, thou sayest true, but tell me how. Aren't thou not horrible afeard? Now, thou being heir apparent, could not the world pick out 3 such enemies as that devil Glendower, that fiend Douglas, and that spirit Percy? Art thou not horribly afraid? Doth not thy blood thrill at it?
Not a whit, in faith. I lack some of thy instinct.
Well, thou wilt be horribly chid tomorrow when thou comest to thy father.
Well,
thou lovest me, practice and answer.
Do thou stand for my father and examine me upon the particulars of my life.
Shall I? Oh, contend! This chair shall be my state, this dagger my scepter, and this cushion my crown.
Content? Thy state is taken for a jointed stool, thy golden scepter for an iron dagger, and thy precious rich crown for a pitiful bald crown.
And now that the fire of grace be not quite out of thee, now thou shalt be moved. Give me a cup of sack to make my eyes look red, so that it may appear that I have wept. I must speak in passion. I will do so in the King Cambus's vein.
Well, here is my leg.
And here is my speech. Stand aside, nobility, and...
Oh, Jesu, this is excellent sport, faith!
Weep not, sweet queen, for trickling tears are vain.
Oh, the father, look how he holds his countenance.
Good God, my lords, convey my tristful queen, for tears do stop the floodgates of her eyes.
Oh, Jesu, he doth it as like one of these harlotry players as ever I see.
Peace, good tickle brain. Peace, good pipe pot. And now, Harry, I not only marvel at how thou spendest thy time, but also how thou art accompanied. For though the chamomile, the more it is trodden on, the faster it grows, so too youth, the more it is wasted, the sooner it wears. That thou art my son, I have partly thy mother's word, partly my own opinion, but chiefly mainly a villainous trick of thine eye and a foolish hanging of thy nether lip at thy point. Now, Harry, if thou be son to me, here is the point. Thou being son to me, why art thou so pointed at? Does the Son of Heaven prove to be a micker and eat blackberries? Nah. A question not to be asked. Does the Son of England prove to be a thief and take purses? A question to be asked. Now, Harry, I did not come and speak to thee in drink, but in tears. Not in pleasure, but in passion. Not in words only, but woes also. And yet there is a virtuous man that I have often seen in thy company, and yet I know not his name.
What manner of man? And it like your majesty?
A portly man, a corpulent, with a pleasing eye, a cheerful look, a most noble stature, and I would say his age some 50.
50!
Or more inclining to her lady 80. Oh, I remember me now. His name is Falstaff! Now, if this Falstaff be lewdly given, he deceiveth me, for I see virtue in his looks. As the tree is known by the fruit, and the fruit by the tree, thus peremptorily I speak it. I see virtue in this Falstaff. Him keepeth, the rest vanish. Now, Harry, thou naughty varlet, where hast thou been this past month?
Dost thou speak like a king? Do thou stand for me, and I'll play my father.
Depose me? Oh, if thou doest half so gravely in both word and matter, what, hang me up by my heels for a rabbit sucker or poulter's hair?
Well, here I am set.
And here I stand now, judge my masters.
Now, Harry, whence comest thou?
Oh, from East Cheap, my lord.
The complaints I hear of thee are grievous.
Oh, Splud, they are false. Oh, I'll cure you in faith for a true prince.
Swearest thou, ungracious boy? Therefore, ne'er look on me again. Thou art violently carried away from grace. There is a devil haunts thee in the likeness of an old fat man. A ton of a man is thy companion. Why dost thou converse with this swollen trunk of humors, this bolting hutch of beastliness, this cloak bag of guts, this huge parcel of dropsies, this bombard of sack, this roasted Manningtree ox with the pudding in his belly, this reverend vice, this grey iniquity, this father ruffian, this vanity in years? Wherein is he good but to taste sack, drink it? Wherein neat and cleanly but to carve a capon and eat it? Wherein cunning but in craft? Wherein crafty but in villainy? Wherein villainous but in all things? Wherein worthy but in nothing?
Nothing.
Who means your grace? I would you would take me with you.
Why, that villainous, abominable misleader of youth, Falstaff! That old white-bearded Satan.
The man I know.
I know thou dost.
But to say I know more harm in him than I know in myself would be to say more than I know. I mean, that he is old, well, the more the pity. His white hairs do witness it. But saving your reverence, they call him a whoremaster. Ooh, that I utterly deny. I mean, if sack and sugar be a fault, God help the wicked. To be old and merry be a sin? Well, there's many an old host I know that would be damned. To be fat to be hated, then Pharaoh's kind are to be loved. No, banish Bardolph, banish Peto, banish Coin. But for sweet Jack Falstaff, a kind Jack Falstaff, true Jack Falstaff, and valiant Jack Falstaff, and being more valiant as he is old, Jack Falstaff. Banish him not thy Harry's company. Banish him not thy Harry's company. You banish plump Jack, you banish all the world.
I do. I will.
Oh, my lord! My lord! The sheriff of the most monstrous watch is at the door!
Out, you rogue! Play out the play! I have much more to say on behalf of that Falstaff.
Oh, Jesu, my lord.
Hey, the devil rides upon a fiddlestick.
The sheriff and all the watchers at the door, they are come to search the house. Shall I let them in?
Dost thou hear, Harry? Never call a true piece of gold a counterfeit. Thou art essentially made without seeming so.
And thou art a natural coward without instinct.
I deny your major. If you will deny the sheriff so, if not, let him enter. I will cart as well as any other man, or a plague upon my bringing up. I'd as soon be strangled with one halter as another.
Go. Hide thee behind the arras. The rest walk up above. Now, masters, for a good face and true conscience.
The both of which I've had, but they are out of date. Therefore, I'll hide me.
Call in the sheriff. Now, Master Sheriff, what wouldst thou with me?
First, pardon me, my lord. A hue and cry have followed certain men onto this house.
What men?
One of them is well known, my gracious lord. A gross, fat man.
Fact is but I know the man of whom thou speak, and he is not here, for I myself at this time have employed him elsewhere. And Sheriff, I will engage my word to thee that by tomorrow dinner time I will send him or any other man to answer thee for anything he is charged withal. And so, let me entreat you to leave the house.
I will, my lord. 2 gentlemen have in this robbery lost 300 marks.
It may be he have robbed these men. If it is so, he shall be answerable. And so, farewell.
Good night, my noble lord.
I think it is good morrow, is it not?
Indeed, my lord. I think it be 2 o'clock.
This oily rascal is known as well as Paul's. Go, fetch him forth.
Falstaff! Fast asleep behind the arras and snorting like a horse.
Hark how hard he fetches breath. Go, search his pockets. Well, what hast thou found?
Nothing but papers, Lord.
Read them. Let's see what they be.
Item, a capon. Item, sauce. Item, sack. 2 gallons. Item, anchovies. And sack after supper. Item, bread. A halfpenny.
Oh, monstrous. But 1 halfpenny worth of bread to this intolerable deal of sack. What else there is, keep close. We'll read at more leisure. There let him sleep till day. We must all to the wars, Fido, and thy place shall be honorable. I'll procure this fat rogue a charge of foot, for I know his death will be a march of 12 score. The money will be paid back again, and so, good morrow, Fido.
Good morrow, good my lord.
Promises are fair, the party's sure, and our inductions for the prosperous house.
Lord Mortimer and Cousin Glendower, will you sit down? Uncle Wilson, plague upon it, I have forgot the map.
No? Here it is. Sit, good Cousin Percy. Sit, Cousin Hotspur. By that name, as oft as Lancaster doth speak of you, his cheek grows pale, and with a rising sigh he wishes you in heaven.
And you in hell as oft as he hears Owen Glendower spoke of.
I cannot blame him. At my nativity, the front of heaven was full of fiery shapes, of burning crescents. At my birth, frame and great foundation of the earth, shaped like a coward.
Why, so it would have done at the same season as your mother's cat had but kittens, though yourself had never been born.
I say the earth did shake when I was born.
I say the earth was not in my mind. If you suppose it's fearing you, it shook.
The heavens were on fire. The earth trembles.
Oh, then the earth shook to see the heavens on fire, not in fear of your nativity. Diseased nature oftentimes breaks forth in strange eruptions. Oft the teeming earth is with a kind of colic, pinched and vexed by the imprisoning of unruly wind within her womb, which, for enlargement striving, shakes the old beldam earth and topples down steeples and moss-grown towers. At your birth, our grandam earth, having this distemperature, in passion shook.
Cousin, of many men I do not bear these crossings. Give me leave to tell you once again that at my birth the front of heaven was full of fiery shapes. The goats ran from the mountains, and the herds were strangely clamorous to the frighted fields. All these signs have marked me extraordinary. And all the courses of my life do show I am not in the road of common men. Where is he living? Clipped in by the sea that chids the banks of England, Scotland, Wales, who calls me pupil or hath read to me, and bring him forth, who is but woman's son, who can trace in me the tedious ways of art, or hold me pace in great experiments.
I think there's no man speaks better Welsh. Out to dinner.
Cousin Percy, you shall make him
I can
mad.
summon the spirits from the Vasky Deep.
Why, so can I, or so can any man, but will they come when you do call for them?
I can teach you, cousin. Command the devil.
And I can teach thee cause to shame the devil by telling truth. Tell truth and shame the devil. If thou hast power to raise him, bring him hither. And I'll swear I have the power to shame him hence. Oh, while you live, tell truth. And shame the devil.
Come, no more of this unprofitable chat.
3 times hath Henry Bolingbroke made head against my power, and thrice from the banks of Wye and Sandy Bottom Severn have I sent him bootless home and weather-beaten back.
Home without boots and in foul weather too. How escaped he agues in the devil's name?
Come, here's the map. Shall we divide our right according to our threefold order ta'en?
The Archdeacon hath divided it into 3 limits very equally. England, from Trent and Severn hitherto, by south and east is to my part assigned. All westward, Wales beyond the Severn shore, and all the fertile land within that bound, Owen Glendower. And to you, dear cause, the remnant northward, lying off of Trent. And our indentures tripartite are drawn, which being sealed interchangeably, a business that this night may execute. Tomorrow, Cousin Percy, you and I and my good Lord Worcester shall meet your father in the Scottish power, as is appointed us at Shrewsbury. My father Glendower is not ready yet, nor shall we need his help these 14 days. Within that space you may have drawn together your tenants, friends, and neighboring gentlemen.
A shorter time shall bring me to your lords. In my conduct shall your ladies come, from whom you now must break and take no leave. There will be a world of water shed upon the parting of your wives and you.
Methinks my moiety, north from Burton here, in quantity equals not one of yours. See how this river comes me cranking in, cuts me from the best of all my lands, a huge half moon, a monstrous cantil out. I'll have the current in this place dammed up. And here, the smug and silver Trent shall run in a new channel fair and evenly. It shall not wind with such a deep indent to rob me of so rich a bottom here.
Not one. It shall. It must. You see, it doth.
But mark how he bears his course, and runs me up with like advantage on the other side, gelding the opposite continent, much as on the other side he takes from you.
Yea, but a little charge will trench him here, and on this north side win this cape of land, and then he runs straight and even.
I'll have it so. A little charge will do it.
I'll not have it altered.
Will not you?
Nay, nor you shall not.
Who shall say me nay?
That will I.
Let me not understand you then. Speak it in Welsh.
I can speak English, Lord, as well as you. As a youth I was trained up in the English court. But being but a youth, I framed to the harp many an English ditty lovely well, and gave the tongue useful ornament. A virtue that was never seen in you.
Married, and I am glad of it with all my heart. I had rather be a kitten and cry mew than any one of these same meter ballad mongers. I had rather hear a brazen candlestick turned or a dry wheel grate on the axle tree, and that would set my teeth nothing on edge, nothing so much as mincing poetry. 'Tis like the forced gait of a shuffling nag.
Come. You shall have the Trent turned.
I do not care. I'll give thrice so much land to any well-deserving friend. But in the way of a bargain, mark you me. I'll cable on the 9th part of a hair. Are the indentures drawn? Shall we be gone?
It is fair. You may depart by night. I'll haste the writers, and withal break with your wives of your departure. Here my daughter will run mad. So much doteth on her Mortimer.
Aye, Cousin Percy, how you cross my father!
I cannot choose. Sometimes he angers me with telling me of the Moldwarp and the ant, of the dreamer Merlin and his prophecies, and of a dragon and a finless fish, a clipped-winged griffin and a molten raven, a ramping lion and a couching cat, and such a deal of skimble-scamble stuff as puts me from my faith. I'll tell you what, He held me last night at least 9 hours in reckoning up the several devils' names that were his lackeys. I cried, and, well, go to, but marked him not a word. He's as tedious as a tired horse. A railing wife, worse than a smoky house. I'd rather live on cheese and garlic in a windmill far than feed on cakes and have him talk to me in any summer home in Christendom.
In faith, Coz, he is a worthy gentleman, exceedingly well read and profited in strange concealments. Is as valiant as a lion and as wondrous affable, and as bountiful as the mines of India. Shall I tell you, Coz? He holds your temper in a high respect, and curves himself even of his natural scope when you come across his humor. In faith he does. I'll warrant you that man is not alive that might so have tempted him as you have done, without the taste of danger and reproof. But do not use it oft, let me entreat you.
In faith, cousin, you are too willful blame, and since your coming here have done enough to put him quite beside his patience. You must needs learn, Lord, to mend this fault, though sometimes it shows greatness, courage, blood, and that's the dearest grace it renders you, yet oft times it doth present harsh rage, defect of manners, want of government, pride, haughtiness, opinion, and disdain, the least of which, haunting a nobleman, loseth men's hearts, and leaves behind a stain upon the beauty of all parts, besides beguiling him of commendation.
Well, I am schooled. Good manners be your speed. Here come our wives, and let us take our leave.
This is the deadly spite that angers me. My wife can speak no English, and I can speak no Welsh.
My daughter weeps. She will not part from you. She'll be a soldier too. She'll to the wars.
But father, tell her that she and my Aunt Percy shall follow in your conduct speedily.
God,
Pinhan, kadevehi mi finet ginarev.
But she is desperate here. A peevish, self-willed harlotry that no persuasion can do good upon.
I understand thy looks, that pretty Welsh which thou pourest from those heavens I am too perfect in, and but for shame in such a parley I should answer thee. I understand thy kisses, and thou mine, and that's a feeling disputation, but I will never be truant, my love, until I have learned thy language. For thy tongue makes Welsh as sweet as ditties highly penned, sung by a fair queen on a summer's bower with ravishing division to her lutes.
Nay, then, if you melt, she will go mad.
I am ignorance itself in this.
She bids you in the wanton rushes lay you down, and rest your gentle head against her lap. And she will sing a song that pleaseth you, and on your eyelids crown the god of sleep.
With all my heart I'll sit and hear her sing. By that time will our book, I think, be drawn?
Do so. And the musicians that shall play for you hang in the air 1,000 leagues from hence. Soon they will be here. Sit and attend.
Come, Kate, thou perfectly lying down. Quick, I may lay my head in thy lap.
Go, you giddy goose.
Now I perceive the devil understands Welsh, and 'tis no marvel he is so humorous. By Our Lady, he is a good musician.
Then should you be nothing but musical, for you are altogether governed by humor. Lie still, ye thief, and hear the lady sing in Welsh.
I had rather hear Lady my brach howl in Irish.
Wouldst thou have thy head broken?
No.
Then be still.
Neither. 'Tis a woman's fault.
Now God help thee.
The Welsh lady's dead.
What's that?
She sings. will have your song too.
Not mine in good suit.
Not yours in good suit. Come, sing.
I will not sing.
And the indentures be drawn, we'll away. So come in when you will.
Come, Sir Mortimer. You are as slow to go as hot Percy is on fire to leave. Our indentures are drawn. We'll but sign and then to horse immediately.
With all my hearts.
Good gentles, with your kind permission, the time has come for intermission. Relax, converse, be of good cheer. Refreshments beckon from the rear. Tasty, succulent, and affordable. We also offer potties puttable. But when you hear musicians sound, come hither to this sylvan round. 'Tis time to then resume your pews. Our second act forthwith ensues.